You are watching South Asia Newsline and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 12th of July. Heavy rains leave a trail of destruction in parts of India. Muslim states demand action at UN after Islamophobic Koran burning. And Bangladesh moves beyond dollar to settle trade with India in rupee. And now for all the details. Severe landslides and flash floods triggered by torrential rain in India's Himachal Pradesh and its neighbouring states have caused massive damage to public infrastructure, affecting life in the region. A report.
People rendered homeless by the devastating floods in the hill town of Mandi in India's Himachal Pradesh had tears in their eyes as they recalled losing their homes built with the earning of their lifetime to the fury of the Beas River. Many districts in Himachal Pradesh received a month's rainfall in a day during the weekend, said a senior weather official. Several major roads and highways are now closed after large portions were swept away in floods or blocked by landslides. More than 24 people have lost their lives and hundreds have been rendered homeless.
ऐसे कुछ नहीं लग रहा कि यहाँ मकान था या कुछ था, अब सब कुछ बह गया मेरा। मैं अकेली रहती हूँ, अपना किसी के घर में झाड़ू लगा लेती हूँ तो किसी के घर में पोछा लगाती थी, तब अपना दिहाड़ी मजदूरी कोई बोल देता था तो दिहाड़ी मजदूरी कर लेती थी और दिहाड़ी मजदूरी करके चलो इतना आसरा था कि मेरे पास एक कमरा है, थोड़े एक लेटरिन बाथरूम में, खाना बनाने के लिए छोटा किचन है, वहाँ आ जाती थी। अब तो वो भी नहीं रही, अब कहाँ जाऊँ मैं।
The deluge has also resulted in losses to farmers in neighbouring Punjab state, where agricultural produce was washed away or was submerged in many villages. Rainfall is essential for nearly 2/3 of India's population, which relies on farming. But excessive deluge causes problems like floods and waterborne diseases almost every year.
उधर जैसे पानी आया ऊपर से जितना बदल फटा ना एक और सारी जमीन सब हटा दी है जी। हाँ जी, हाँ पूरा खड्डा हो गया जी, पहले बहती थी जमीन धान थे इस पर।
Ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's France visit, India's Defence Ministry has given the initial nod for procurement of 26 Rafale-M fighter jets and 3 Scorpène-class submarines for the Indian Navy, sources have revealed. The submarines will be acquired under the existing clause of the Navy and will be built in India's Mumbai city. In a rare occurrence, the Indian Prime Minister is invited by French President Emmanuel Macron as the guest of honour of the annual Bastille Day parade. The parade will also witness a 269-member tri-services contingent of the Indian Armed Forces marching alongside their French counterparts, along with a flypast from 3 Indian Rafale fighter jets.
प्राउड फील आ रहा है और हम पंजाब रेजिमेंट पूरे हम खुशनसीब हैं और हमारे पूर्वजों ने जो यहाँ पे अच्छा काम किया पहले, आज से तकरीबन 107 साल पहले यहाँ पे जो उन्होंने अपने बलिदान दिए हैं, तो अभी हम यहाँ पे आए हैं तो हमें बहुत फख्र महसूस हो रहा है और इसके लिए हम बहुत प्राउड फील करते हैं।
Muslim states, including Iran and Pakistan, on Tuesday said desecration of the Koran amounted to inciting religious hatred and called for accountability as the UN rights body debated a contentious motion in the wake of the Koran burning in Sweden. The motion, brought by Pakistan in response to last month's incident, seeks a report from the UN rights chief on the topic and calls on states to review their laws and plug gaps that may impede the prevention and prosecution of acts and advocacy of religious hatred. Protests also erupted across Pakistan and other Islamic countries last week against the incident, with protesters demanding boycott of diplomatic ties with Sweden. The Swedish Foreign Ministry has condemned the burning of the holy book and said these actions do not reflect the views of the Swedish government in any way.
The deliberate desecration of the Holy Quran has continued under government sanction and with a sense of impunity. Increasingly, these acts are designed to maximize provocation. We must see this clearly for what it is: incitement to religious hatred, discrimination, and attempts to provoke violence.
The frequent price hike of food and other essentials have continued to upset people across Pakistan. They are bracing for further inflation as the government will soon take more painful measures to meet IMF conditions after a bailout.
Soaring prices of food and other essential items have continued to upset people across crisis-hit Pakistan. The country's annual consumer inflation has remained elevated at 29.4%. The government secured a $3 billion IMF bailout on 30th of June. But residents in Lahore said they have not seen any relief yet, with authorities failing to keep a check on prices. The inflationary storm has shaken their domestic budgets.
समझ लें कि एक वक्त की रोटी मिल रही है तो दो टाइम की उनको मिल ही नहीं रही बेचारे ये छोटे-छोटे बच्चे इधर काम कर रहे हैं हम अभी मजदूरी करके आए हैं यहाँ से सब्जी लेंगे यहाँ यहीं पे पैसे खत्म हो जाएंगे घी तेल कहाँ से लेंगे हम लोग आटा कहाँ से लेंगे
अगर किसी गरीब का दिल करे ना कि आज हम चावल पकाएं तो चावल जो है ना वो आसमानों से बात कर रहे हैं 300, 350, 400 रुपए किलो हैं गरीब आदमी चावल पका ही नहीं सकता है इसी तरह घी 600, 650 रुपए किलो है
Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's government, which is due to face a national election later this year, had to undertake more painful fiscal discipline measures to satisfy the IMF. Residents said they are shattered and have no hope of any economic recovery soon.
Former Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena has paid 15 million Sri Lankan rupees out of the 100 million compensation to the 2019 Easter bombing victims, Lankan news outlets reported on Wednesday. Sirisena has sought permission from the Supreme Court to pay the remaining amount in annual installments of $850,000 for the next 10 years. The Supreme Court, in its order in January 2023, hearing petitions from attack victims, had observed Sirisena-led government failed to prevent bombing even after receiving Indian intelligence information about an imminent terrorist attack weeks before it took place. In its order, the Apex Court had directed the former president and 4 other former government officials to provide compensation to the attack victims. India and Bangladesh on Tuesday launched a much-anticipated trade transaction in rupees, a move aimed at reducing dependence on the US dollar and strengthening regional currency and trade. Shahriar, Bangladesh Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, said that the move will promote bilateral trade, ease net demand for foreign exchange and reduce cost of doing business. Until now, Bangladesh has only carried out trade transactions in dollars. India is Bangladesh's second largest source of imports after China, with Dhaka's exports to India standing at $2 billion in the year June 2022, while Bangladesh imports from India were $13.69 billion. The move comes as Bangladesh is also struggling to pay for imported fuel because of a dollar shortage. Alongside thousands of pilgrims heading to India's Jammu and Kashmir for the annual Amarnath Yatra, 2 US nationals were spotted on Tuesday undertaking the pilgrimage. They said that they had been waiting for this opportunity for many years and undertaking the pilgrimage is like a dream come true for them. Located at an altitude of 3,800 meters and covered by snow almost all year round, Amarnath contains an ice stalagmite that is considered the physical manifestation of Lord Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction. The 62-day-long Amarnath Yatra, which began on July 1st, will culminate on August 31st.
Swami Vivekananda came to Amarnath and had a very important experience. He actually had a vision of Lord Shiva, very important. And so since now 40 years, I'm thinking I know this story. So ever since could we ever come there? It seemed impossible, a dream to come. And then all of a sudden, by Bholenath's grace, everything came together, and here we are after having this darshan.
There's a particular kind of peace that pervades these hills and these mountains, and of course that holy cave. And we hope that that kind of peace can pervade everywhere. That is our prayer.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.